Welcome to the AMAC Action Advocacy Update, Spotlight on Vulnerable Voters. I'm Andy Mangione, Senior Vice President of AMAC Action. One of AMAC Action's great partners in the fight for election integrity is the Election Research Institute. They recently released a paper providing evidence of voter fraud targeting the most vulnerable of our population, senior citizens. Back in 2020, at the height of the COVID pandemic, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, or CMS, instructed nursing homes to interpret a federal rule so staff could assist residents in applying for absentee or mail-in ballots or completing a ballot. This rule led to bad actors hijacking the votes of nursing home residents. But it gets worse. The Biden administration put the COVID-era regulations on steroids when it issued an executive order mandating that every federal agency, including CMS, partner with Biden-approved non-governmental organizations to conduct get-out-the-vote efforts. Because CMS controls the flow of federal dollars to nursing homes to the tune of $100 billion a year, facilities had little choice but to comply. The Election Research Institute lays out 4 separate examples where nursing home residents have become victims of voter fraud schemes since the initial CMS rule change in 2020. In one instance from Texas, a social worker was charged with 134 felony counts involving election fraud for unlawfully registering residents. In another instance, a resident who was labeled not capable upon admission to the nursing home in May 2020 voted for the very first time despite being bedridden and unable to speak. In another instance, a 91-year-old woman who had not voted for 30 years was shocked to find that after the 2020 election, the county election office received and counted a ballot in her name. If you have a loved one in any type of nursing home facility, speak with the director of the facility and ask them how they're protecting their residents from this kind of election fraud. In the meantime, AMAC Action will remain vigilant as an advocate for reform of the rules that promote electioneering schemes. Thanks for watching. I'm Andy Mangione, urging you to stay engaged.